Why, hello there. My name is Cathy Baillargeon. I am the owner of Virtual Cathy and your resource for all things virtual assisting. Now, this video is for our VAs, my fellow industry mates, and want to talk a little bit about the three biggest challenges VAs face in their business. Now, I talk to a lot of virtual assistants, especially those that are looking to start or have started and are kind of struggling. And I have found that there are three different challenges that they see that they seem to have the most problems in building their business, and would like to share some insight on those today. So, jumping right in here, the first biggest challenge that virtual assistants seem to have in their business is marketing themselves. Now, with our industry, we are drawn to it because, one, we love admin. We love the idea of supporting businesses and people with the services we provide. But I think there's also this delight in knowing that we are working kind of behind the scenes in our pajamas at home. Maybe not in our pajamas. Who knows? You'll have to tell me whether or not you work in your pajamas or not. And we really do like to kind of take a step back from the limelight. And so a lot of virtual assistants have such a hard time marketing themselves. Well, if you were to go on Facebook, put up a business page, maybe even create a website, attach it to your business page, it's kind of like the proverbial buying a brick and mortar, hanging up the sign, and expecting people to just come in. It's probably not going to happen without some additional effort on your part. And now I have been able to build a multiple six-figure virtual assisting business and supporting businesses across the country because I have used different marketing tools and marketing efforts to get my brand out there ultimately. And so being on social media and hoping to catch that post for people that say, looking for a virtual assistant, and then being one of 120 comments about how you could potentially provide them services is not going to cut it. You're going to be struggling for a long time. And if anybody who's doing that, they know what that struggle looks like. How do you cut through the noise? It's really hard on social media, but we do feel as an online business that we should be on there. And I think that is also true. We should be on social media, but that shouldn't be the only marketing that we do for ourselves. So for myself, I did a lot of in-person marketing. Now, who knows who's going to be watching this, but right now during this COVID time, it's hard to do any kind of in-person marketing, but there are still opportunities to do networking on a virtual level. And so whether you're networking with 6 individuals or 20 individuals or 100 individuals, really getting into networking is going to make the biggest impact on your business. So making a point to create working relationships with people in different industries, whether you feel like they would be a good a resource partner for you or not, is important, because the more people know about you and your business and the services you provide, and not trying to sell them directly, is going to be most important. So I do a lot of networking, and I have referral groups, and that has really been able to create a great foundation for my business and has grown it. So definitely look into the different types of marketing that you're doing. And if you are afraid to do marketing for yourself, just know that you are currently the face of your company, and you have to put yourself out there in a much greater way if you want a larger impact. And so again, focusing on good referral sources for you. Who do you know that that works with the target demographic that you're looking for too? And again, it's not about selling to them. It's about creating a relationship with them that will open the doorway to all the people that they know that they could potentially refer you to. So keep that in mind, and we could talk a little bit more about that. But if anybody asks about what the biggest challenges is in their VA business, it's usually finding clients. And this is the numero uno why they are having a hard time finding clients. So, number 2. Okay, pricing is ineffective. What does that even mean? That means generally when people are starting, and I totally understand and have done this myself, we start at a lower rate. Okay, that makes sense. We need to kind of build up our clientele, build up, the testimonials that we do and all of the work that we do and our experience. However, sometimes people kind of get into this, I need to charge lower and I need to charge less per hour or whatever the case may be. And unfortunately, it gets VAs into a situation where the pricing that they have is at the end of the month, they're making little to no money whatsoever. Now, you're thinking, how does that even happen when the overhead for virtual assistants is so low? True. However, it doesn't necessarily mean that virtual assistants don't have any kind of overhead or any kind of business expenses. Now, people think you can have internet and a laptop and your admin experience and you're good to go. Yes, to a point, but all businesses have business expenses. So, just off the top of my head, I pay for different types of software like my client management system, Canva, or, my social media content creation. I pay for accounting, I pay for bookkeeping. And while a lot of that you are probably doing yourself currently, at some point you're going to have to pay for it. And then you also have, your printer and your printing paper and your files and your office equipment and your, Post-it notes. All of this costs money. And what better way than to have your business, pay for it? However, if you are charging so low, you are the business expenses on top of that, you are not going to be making enough money to, really have what would be the point, what would be the purpose. So make sure that when you are determining your pricing, that you take into account all business expenses. And if you don't really have any business expenses right now, then take into account any future business expenses that you are expecting. Even Adobe DC, so you can, format and, edit PDF files. Everything costs a little bit, if not a lot. So keep that in mind. And then number 3, the third biggest challenge that I see virtual assistants make in their business: employee mindset. Now, this is interesting because this is actually where we see a lot of client VA abuse happens. And I know that might be a tough word, but it's true. So when we are creating our business, we are creating it based on the experience that we have working for somebody else in their business, right? So we've done admin work for an employer of ours. And so we carry that same mindset into our own businesses, meaning we're expecting our clients to tell us what we need to be doing, what tasks we should be doing. And that is true to a point. When we are an employer, we are the business owner. We have to take into account, we're the ones who are determining our prices. We're the ones who are determining when we work, what we do, what services we provide, and the best way to get the job done. Now, you may be working with some clients that has, step-by-step instructions on how something's done, and there's little wiggle room to like, I guess, streamline it or make it a little bit more effective. But it is no bueno when the client is dictating when they're going to be paying you, or what they're going to be paying you, or when they should be contacting you. So in terms of like the abuse that I was talking about, this is when clients will message you and expect a return message in the middle of the night or on weekends, or they're demanding that you're doing something, or they put more on your plate that was not in the original agreement that you had with this person. And as virtual assistants, if we have that employee mindset, we're like, okay, sure, they're running the show, but ultimately this is our business. We should be seen as partners and supporters of their business, and we need to be treated as such. So for my clients, because I run my business like I am the business owner of my business, my clients will actually ask for recommendations on best ways to do the work that they're hiring us to do. And that's where you want to be in. You want to be in a place of expertise. You are the expert in your field. That's why they're hiring you. That's why they're paying a higher rate than if they were to just hire somebody straight out of high school to, man the phones, because we are the expert in our fields, and we need to hold ourselves as such, and we need to be calling the shots in our business. And that includes pricing, when we work, when we get paid, what type of work we do. We can say no to certain tasks that they try and give us that does not fit in our service area, right? So this is one of the biggest hardships that I see VAs do, because they go in thinking like an employee. So I hope this has been helpful. I'd be very interested to hear which 3, if any, you're really struggling with, and if you have any additional questions that I might be able to answer in a future video. So feel free to subscribe to my page. I hope to provide much more content for both the client side as well as the virtual assisting side, and look forward to being your resource for all things virtual assisting. Have a great day.